Brianna, I'm so sorry about Bill. Are you doing okay? Hey, yeah, I'm okay for now. Thanks for asking. I'm just really busy. Have you found a funeral home yet? I know things can move pretty fast when planning a funeral. Yeah, I did. He just got brought over there a little while ago. Oh, that's good. Is there much more to do? Not so much. I took care of most of what I needed to do. Do you need me to come there to help you out? I'm sure you need a lot of support, including emotional support right now. Thanks, sis. I'm fine for now. Plus, it's late. I don't want to make you come all the way out here now. Okay, I'll come first thing tomorrow morning then. I'll help you with whatever you need. Are you sure? There's nothing more important to me than my little sister. I appreciate that. Thank you. If you don't mind, feel free to come over. I can't imagine what you're going through. You went through all that trouble of getting married. I feel so bad for you. It was a long time coming. Bill's been fighting cancer for the past 3 years. I came to terms with losing him a while ago. What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna raise Noah on your own? Raising a middle schooler is hard enough, let alone on your own. I'll figure something out. How on earth are you going to pay for his college? He's got a good head on his shoulders, just like his father. I'm confident he'll get the grades he needs to for a scholarship. That would really make things easier. He's never brought home anything less than a 95. He's a straight-A student. If only it were that easy. Things might come easily to him now, but you never know what'll happen when the work gets harder. If worst comes to worst, he can go to a community college for 2 years, then transfer into where he really wants to go. Plus, I have a separate account that I've been putting money into for his future. For now, it seems like everything's going to be okay. We just have to take things one day at a time, though. Plus, I'm still working and putting money into that account. What are you talking about? College isn't the only thing you need to be thinking about. What about once you get older? Who's going to look after you? Well, I'm still working, and I'm putting money away aside from what I put into Noah's account. Once he starts working and living on his own, I'll be able to save a lot more. You're not taking this seriously enough. By then, how old will you be? I know you call him your son, but don't forget, he's just your stepson. That doesn't matter. He's my son. End of story. Not by blood, though. I've raised him since before he was 2 years old. I haven't even told him the truth about that yet, although he may have figured it out by now. As long as he considers me his mother, he's my son. Now that Bill's gone, he's more important to me than ever. I'm going to do whatever I can for him. You've got to tell him sooner or later. I'd hate to see you struggle because of a kid that's not even yours. Do you want me to be the one to tell him? No, I don't. I'm waiting for the right time to tell him. He just lost his father. Telling him now would devastate him. When things settle down and I feel he's old enough to understand, then I'll tell him. So please do not mention anything to him. I'm serious. Well, as long as you'll tell him eventually. But you sure are doing things the hard way. If I were you, I'd be taking a different approach. Hey, sorry. I didn't realize you called me. I'm at City Hall right now. There are a few loose ends I have to tie up for Dad. Sorry, I didn't realize you were so busy. I wanted to talk to you about something. Is everything okay? Did something happen? I have a favor. I know that you're not my real mother, which means you don't have any responsibility to raise me anymore since we're not technically related. What? But I'm begging you, please, I'm not ready to live on my own yet. Do you think you could please let me live with you at least until I finish middle school? Who told you that? Aunt Jill. She did? She said you got remarried to my dad after I was already born. Okay, but why are you asking me to let you still live in the house? Did she say anything else to you? Well, she said now that Dad's gone, I better get used to being on my own because you're gonna kick me out. She said I was nothing but a burden to you. OMG. Is that true? I wish I didn't have to tell you like this, but the part about us not being related by blood is true. I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. I didn't think it was the right time to tell you since your father just passed away. I was waiting for things to calm down. I wanted you to hear it directly from me, though, not Aunt Jill. Oh. So it is true. Only that part is. Everything about me kicking you out or thinking you're a burden is all false. I plan on making sure you get to college. You're living with me until you decide you want to move out. But you just think that because that's what Dad wanted for me. I really don't want to make your life worse. You absolutely aren't. Also, your dad had nothing to do with this. I want you to go. How can I put this? No one is telling me I have to raise you. Especially your dad. He didn't force me to raise you, and he didn't force me to make sure you go to college. I need you to understand that. I'm doing this because I want to. Just because your dad passed away doesn't change anything between us. But if you keep me around, that means you won't have any money after you retire. Let me guess. Aunt Jill told you that too. You don't need to worry about money at all. I'm working and have money saved up. But you're probably exhausted from everything. You'll probably say anything to get me not to worry. Let me explain things in a little more detail. Ever since Dad and I got married, we've been putting money away little by little. We'll be able to live off the money I make from my job. Plus, there's money from Dad's life insurance. For now, we're fine with money. Don't worry about it. There's a chance we'll need to take out loans for your college. But I think by that time I'll have saved enough so we won't need to take out that much. I promise I'm not just saying all this to try and make you feel better. Really? I promise. Your home is with me. Are you really sure it's okay? After I got off the phone with Aunt Jill, I've been really worried. I get that. I don't blame you for being worried. You're going through a lot right now. Dad just passed away. I'm sure you're very emotional. But you need to trust me. I would absolutely never kick you out of the house. Do you think I'm the type of person who would do that? No. I love you, Noah. No matter what, I'm your mother. Why would you tell Noah I'm not his real mother? You said some pretty awful stuff to him. Well, it's his fault that you're having a hard time. I didn't think it was right that you were left with your late husband's parasite to sort out by yourself. As your older sister, I had to do something. Parasite? Are you talking about Noah? Maybe I should have chosen my words better. I guess he's more like luggage than a parasite. That's no better! You're being extremely rude. Well, no matter how I phrase it, you're still in the same situation. Meaning, you're not actually mother and son. Like I already told you, it doesn't matter if we're not related by blood or not. I raised him, so that makes him my son. Just because his father died doesn't change our relationship. Let's get back on track, though. Why on earth would you tell him I'm kicking him out of our house? Never say anything like that again. He really believed you. It was a headache trying to convince him I wasn't going to do that. See, I knew he was a burden. That's proof he's causing you problems. You know what I meant. stop it. The only person who thinks he's a burden is you. You were forced into the role of his mother when you got remarried. It's a bit like Stockholm Syndrome, isn't it? You were being forced against your will to be his mother, and you became brainwashed into thinking you actually loved him. I feel so bad for you. I took it upon myself to rid you of that burden so you could enjoy your life a little more. Your opinion of our relationship is completely irrelevant. I am his mother. End of story. I decided even before Bill and I got married. The second I met Noah for the first time, I knew I wanted to be his mother. Men aren't the only ones who have a say in marriage. I wasn't forced into anything. Not only did I choose to marry Bill, I chose to be Noah's mother. I see you're still brainwashed. By definition, you aren't family with someone unless you're related by blood. I haven't considered that little brat a part of this family even for 1 second. Are you serious? Yes, he's just a freeloader and an outsider. It's such a pity you can't see things for what they really are. You're distracted by things like him getting good grades. He's sucking you dry financially. You need to trim the fat off your life ASAP, and it starts with ditching that little brat. I can't believe you. I thought you of all people would be compassionate and understanding of our situation. You're just a heartless monster. How am I heartless? I tried to get rid of him for you because I was worried about you. You're a liar. You just don't like him for some twisted reason. I feel like I've already said this 100 times, but he's not sucking me dry financially. If you're going to say that about anyone, you should say it about yourself. You're still getting money from Dad, aren't you? I haven't asked for a dime since I graduated high school. What else am I supposed to do? I live alone. I'm really tight on money at the moment. And why is that? Because you burn through all your money going to clubs and buying stupid stuff? Shut up! Who do you think you are talking to me like that? After everything I've done for you, that's the attitude you take towards me? I came running to your side after your husband died. Honestly, I know you were just doing that to poke your nose in my business. You are literally the most intrusive and nosy person I've ever met. I've kept quiet about it until now. Is that how you really feel? That's a bit harsh. Have you already forgotten what you did at the funeral? You got there early to pretend like you'd help, but you just ate all the refreshments the funeral parlor laid out. When I thought you were going around talking to the people who came, I caught you taking a nap in the corner. You were utterly useless. Mom and our other relatives were 100 times more helpful than you. How dare you talk to me that way? I'm going to tell Mom and Dad how rude you are to me. Go ahead. You'll only make yourself look stupid. I'm going to tell them everything you've done to me and Noah. I'm headed over to see Mom and Dad this very moment. I'm going to tell them all the hurtful things you've said. Oh yeah? That's perfect. How? If you weren't on your way already, you definitely would want to go see them after you hear what I'm about to tell you. What is that supposed to mean? Tell me what? First of all, I told them everything you said to Noah. Including how you said he was a parasite and how since we weren't related by blood, we're not family. Dad let out a long sigh and then he told me, lol. Told you what? I don't have the time to play your stupid games. Hurry up! That you're adopted, lol. What? What are you talking about? That's impossible. You're about to see them, right? They'll explain everything to you when you get there. Don't lie to me. I'm definitely not lying, lol. Mom and Dad realized they couldn't have kids after they got married. They wanted a child more than anything, so they adopted you. They still have all the adoption forms. They'll show you if you want. So what about you? If they couldn't have kids, that means you're adopted too, right? Nope. Why? That doesn't make any sense. They were really stressed with you in the house, so they did a lot of stress relief. Mom got pregnant with me not too long after you were born. They've been on the fence whether or not to tell you this whole time. They knew how easily you get offended. Unlike me, they knew you were really negative and it would probably devastate you. That was until they heard the horrible things you were saying about Noah. They decided the time was right to tell you. Why are you telling me before them? I wanted to hear that directly from Mom and Dad. Lol, are you that old that you're already forgetting things? You did the exact same thing to Noah. You're a real evil person to speak so coldly like that to your own sister. Well, my son is more important to me than you. That reminds me. You said anyone who isn't related by blood isn't technically family, right? So, I guess that makes you… what did you say? Oh yeah, it makes you an outsider. I guess that means we have to cut you out of our lives. No! That's not what anyone wants! You've known me way longer than that little brat. He goes, I stay. That is completely irrelevant. Noah is such a big help around the house, and he's never once asked me for money. He's even said he wants to get a good job to pay me back for everything I've done for him, so he's studying as hard as he can. And then there's you. What have you done? Ever since you were young, all you cared about was having fun. You never helped out. Even as an adult, you're still leeching off Mom and Dad for money. I wonder who we should cut from the team. You or Noah? Regardless of what you think, Mom and Dad would never cut me out of their lives. I'm their daughter. Well, not by your own definition. I think you better prepare yourself for what's about to happen. I've never heard Dad sound so angry when I was on the phone with him earlier. I'm sure Mom feels the same. They said they're not giving you another dime. You're such a horrible liar, lol. There's no way they'd ever do that to me. I think this was probably a long time coming. You've been a burden to them ever since you were little. They wouldn't really abandon me, would they? Oh, Dad's so mad at you, I don't think it would have made a difference if you were his real daughter or not. Brianna, you've got to do something to change his mind. I don't know what I'll do if they cut me off. You know I don't have any money, right? Sorry, but I have no intentions to help you. You made your bed. Now you have to lie in it. Your words really came back to you like a boomerang, huh? It's karma in action, lol. I think it's about time for you to finally understand the consequences of your actions. I just got finished going over your father's will. There's also a letter he left for you. I put them both on your nightstand. Thanks. I saw them both earlier. I just got finished reading them. I was so surprised he wrote me a letter. What did it say? I'm sorry I never told you the truth about your mom. Even if it's not by blood, your mother now is your true mother. Take good care of her for me. Oh, that was so nice of him. He was worried about you too. Especially about our relationship after you found out I never gave birth to you. I have to make him proud. I know he's up there in heaven watching me. I believe everything now, Mom. I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm the one who should apologize. I should have told you about all of this sooner. Let's both work hard and make Dad proud. You're right. He's watching over us from heaven. I'm so happy that you're my mom. You're the best mom in the world. You make my life so amazing. I'm so lucky to have you. I love you so much. I'm so happy you and Dad met. Dad wasn't the only one who stole my heart. You did too, son. Thanks to my awful sister, things were hectic for a moment. Now that the air has been cleared, my relationship with Noah is better than it's ever been before. We go to visit the cemetery where Bill is buried all the time together. I hope Bill's at peace up in heaven. In other news, Jill sat down with our parents and heard the truth directly from them and talked about what she did to Noah. My mom told me that things got pretty heated and it almost became physical. Jill blamed me for everything and tried to play the victim. In other words, she didn't take responsibility for anything she did. My dad finally had enough of her. They completely cut her off and cut contact with her altogether. As soon as he mentioned not giving her any money, she suddenly had a shift in morality and started apologizing. She cried on their front porch after they kicked her out of their house, but told her they didn't consider her their daughter anymore. My parents didn't fall for her crocodile tears. My mom tells me Jill comes by nearly every day to apologize and begs them to reconsider. Maybe one day my parents will forgive her, but that'll probably be in the distant future. She's nothing but a parasite to them now. Oh.